Hey y'all, this is Big Black Barbecue, and today we're finally doing it. Well, I'm finally doing it. I'm taking on brisket. I had a lot of people ask me when I was going to do brisket, and today I'm doing it. It is actually in the evening. I want this brisket takes a long time. Brisket takes a long time. It is very time consuming. So I wanted to do it at night. So by the time it is completely done and ready to eat, it'll be in the afternoon tomorrow. But this is what I have. I've already trimmed it the best I've wanted it for backyard barbecue. I'm not in competition. So if I was in competition, I wouldn't even cut it myself. I would actually get a professional, like a butcher or somebody who's very, very professional at cutting brisket. But you basically want to get, how I like mine, you basically want to get it to where it lays flat like it's supposed to. Basically getting that deco out, all that hard fat that doesn't render at all. And then on the back side here, I'll show you if I can't pull this up. I like to leave at least 3/4 inch all the way through, just to have a nice little cover. You can leave as much as you want, but let me show you this again. But it's all up to you how you cut your brisket. I'm not going to sit here and tell you should do this, you should do that. You know, it's all up to you. I'm just doing backyard brisket, so we're going to get started. One of the things I like to do first is I like to inject my brisket. I usually inject it 4 hours before I start. What I'm using to inject is, of course, the Kosmo Q injection for brisket. Reserve blend. If you won my giveaway, my last giveaway, I think it was Bruce. Shout outs to Bruce. You already have this, but this is what I use. So I'm gonna get started here. I'm not in competition. This is not competition, guys. So there's no wrong way to actually inject this brisket for that reason. I'm just gonna inject it to where I can see it actually floating up, and shoot it through the point and the flat. Make sure it's all the way through, and then I'm just going to leave it alone. I'm put it back in the refrigerator, leave it alone, and let it actually get enough. Let it actually sit so that injection can work. But this is all you're doing once you've already cut it and everything. I'm not putting any seasonings on it or anything like that. Yeah, I'm just injecting it. So got my injection here. I'm just going to go in different places and inject. Remember, as you inject, just pull out slightly, slowly. You might get some that splash back. You can use your finger or use your hand to stop that from happening. But I'm just trying to get some flavor throughout. This is going to be smoking for a long time. We got about 10 to 12 hours. You can anywhere from 200 to 205. This is not your typical smoke. This is actually going to take a while. So in order to stop it from drying out and also get some flavor within this meat, I like to inject it. And yes, I do have some coming out. That is completely fine with me. I'm not worried about that at all. Because I'm just going to put it back in the refrigerator. I'll dry it off later when I get ready to put the seasoning on it. But you just want to get in there and inject it nicely. Oops, there's a little bit came out right there, see? Just be careful. If you don't want it to splash on you, just use your hand to cover like that and just inject. We're just getting this nice and full of injection. You can inject any way you want to. Doesn't really matter. This is backyard. We're not doing any competition, like I said. I know there's a lot of people that are like, you're supposed to do it this way, you're supposed to do it that way. Yeah, I would, but I mean, It's brisket going on the grill, and it's just to eat for dinner. It's not something I'm going to be showing to judges or anything like that. So, you know, you do it your way. Whichever way you want to. But I'm just going to get enough injection in here all the way through. Make sure you get the tips too. And we're just going to leave it alone. We're going to wrap this back up. And we're going to let it set for 4 hours. I may put a little bit more injection in there, but that's all we're doing for right now. I'll see y'all back in 4 hours. I'm going to dry it. What we're going to be smoking at is 250. And we're going to be using competition pellets. I want some of that hickory, that cherry, that maple, and that oak that comes within that competition blend to actually help this out and actually give it a good, nice little smoke. I also got a surprise seasoning I'm going to put on top of this. Y'all may be surprised about it. I'm not just going to use salt and pepper and garlic powder like I would, but I'm going to show y'all all that. But let me get back to y'all in 4 hours because this has got to sit, and I'll show y'all what I'm doing next. Okay, it's been about 4 hours after injection. I've got it out. I've started drying it with the paper towel. Make sure you dry it after you inject it. You don't want any of that that moisture on the outside to ruin your rub or actually not have it stick on. You just want enough wetness just to have your rub stick on. I'm going to dry it off just a little bit more. Just a little bit more on the top. I've already got the back side. Get it nice and dry. Now what I'm gonna come first with nice garlic powder, black pepper, and salt. Just a nice little Texas blend for the top part and the back part. So we're gonna start with that first. You're just gonna go over it. You can use pink Himalayan salt, peppercorn. It doesn't matter. Just get a nice little coating on there. Maybe I should do this by hand. It'd probably be a lot faster. There we go. With me, I'm just doing a light one on the top side because I have another season I'm going to put on. I'm going to show y'all in a second. That's all we're doing right now is doing that. Just getting it. Make sure you get all of it in certain places. The edges and everything. Alright, then I'm going to flip it over to the fat cap side. Let's dry this up just a little bit more too. Doesn't hurt. And then I'm going to add the rest of it on the back side. Nice little blend. You're going to rub that in too. Flip it over again. Alright. Now the season I'm going to put on here is a new season I got in for brisket. For beef actually. It's Spiceology Black Gold by Sasquatch Barbecue. It has activated charcoal in it, which is inert. It means that it's going to pass right through your system, but it gives a nice little bark to it. It also has a nice little taste. So I'm tasting it real quick again just to get an actual remembrance of how and what it tastes like. Basically like a nice little peppery seasoning, peppery and salt. It's basically your Texas beef type seasoning. Just that activated charcoal makes it a lot, the appearance look 10 times better. I'm gonna let y'all look at the back. It does have black truffles in it. Truffle powder by Carab Powder and black truffle salt. garlic, onion, you know, just the same. But this is very expensive. I'm gonna try it for the first time on brisket. I've tried it on steak. It's actually pretty good. But let me get the top off here. And we're just gonna douse this in this seasoning. Get it nice and rubbed down. And look at that. Black gold. It's gonna create a nice little bark for you. Make sure you get all of it, get it nice, pat it down. If you see any spots that you're missing, put over it a little bit more. Looks like it's already done, but it's not. It's actually pretty interesting. The first time I tried it on steak, I was the same way. I thought my steak was burnt, but it's not. It actually tastes pretty good. Just wanted to try it on brisket now. Now, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get my pellet grill. I'm going to use the Lockhart because it has two probes. I'm going to put one probe in the flat, one probe in the point. And we're going to let this go at 250 for about, I'm saying about 12 hours, an hour a pound, if that. The temperature I'm looking for before I get to the point where I'm going to wrap it is about anywhere from 170 to 175. But I want both parts to be that same temperature, so I'm gonna have a temperature probe here and a temperature probe in the point. I'm gonna let this set for an hour. I'm gonna get my smoker started, and I'll meet y'all back out there. Okay, y'all, it is dark outside as you can see, and I'm getting this started. I'm gonna open this up and show y'all. Got my smoker tube going. As you can see, I put it fat cap down. I always put mine's fat cap down because it helps the fat cap render. Because you're not gonna eat the fat cap anyway, but it helps it render. But I'll let y'all get a pretty good look at that. As you can see here, temperature probe in the point, temperature probe in the flat. I'm gonna let this go every 1.5 hours to 2 hours. I'm gonna come out here, give it a nice little spritz. But other than that, I'm gonna let this go until I see a 170, 175 on both equal parts. And then I'm gonna come in and wrap it, then we're gonna finish the rest of this cook. But other than that, you're just setting it and letting it go, 250 for about 10 to 12 hours. But it's gonna be a long while. I'm gonna see the sun up here, as you can see. But this is it. We're gonna let this go, and I'll be back with y'all in about 1.5 to 2 hours to give y'all an update. Okay, y'all, I'm about 2 hours in. I'm gonna open this up, see what we got going here. As you can tell, it's starting to dry out a little bit. That's why I came out here. Still got time to go. It's looking nice though. Really nice bark I see. But I'm gonna give this a spritz with just one part water, 1 part vinegar. And we're just gonna keep monitoring it. Give this a nice little spray here, as you can see. That's all we're gonna do, and we're just gonna let it keep going. Still got a couple of hours to go before we wrap. I'm looking for a 170 temperature in order to wrap it, 170, 175 around there, but we're just gonna keep going. And I guess I'll come back out here in about 2 hours or so when it gets to that point, see if it's actually there. It'll be 4 hours total, 4 or 5 hours total, and we'll see what we have. Okay guys, I'm about 4 hours in. I'm gonna open this up, see what I got here. Looking nice, looking nice. As you can see, this is actually kind of a good sign, because that means moisture is actually escaping. That means you still have moisture inside. Get a good look at that. Getting a little redness right there. Now I'm gonna come back over it again with another spritz, just a light spritz. Alright, I'm getting close to the 170 mark. Probably about another hour when it gets there. I'll be back then. Either I'll show you what I have out on the grill, or I'll be inside getting ready to wrap it. But yeah, I'm getting close to that mark, so I'm just gonna let this go until I get there, and I'll see y'all soon. Okay, y'all, it's been about 4.5, 5 hours. Sun is not technically coming up yet, but just want to show y'all what I got. This is it at 170. 170 for both. Well, 175, 173 for the flat, and 170 for the point. But get y'all a nice look there. Nice little moisture. So all you're gonna do now is just wrap it. Wrap it's gonna actually, you can wrap it in aluminum foil or butcher paper like I have here. That's gonna harden up your bark right here, and it's also gonna retain the moisture for the rest of the cook. Remember, we're going anywhere from 200 to 205, preferably 203. But that's all we're gonna do. I'm gonna put this back out on the smoker. There's no more smoking to do. There's no more mopping to do or spritzing to do, whichever one you did. It's just a straight cook from now on. So I'll be back when this is finished. There's no reason to show you anything else. It's going to be wrapped anyway. But remember, our times is anywhere from our smoking temperature, or our done temperature, is anywhere from 200 to 205 is what we're looking for. So I'll be back when this is done off the smoker, and then we'll get to the third part of the brisket. Okay, y'all, I am done as far as smoking this brisket, both pieces with the probes and my own self probe. A wiggle test and self probe came out to 203 and 205, around that area. But this is about all we got. The fun part is basically about over. You don't want to unwrap this yet. There is one more step you have to do, and that is let this rest. In order to let this rest, you have to put it in a box or a drum or a cooler, something like that, and let it sit. It's got to sit. I'm going to personally let this sit for about 3 or 4 hours. But you can let it sit up to 6, or you can let it sit for an hour. I recommend anything over 2 hours. So I will be back. I'm going to put this in a cooler and let it just let it breathe. Every hour or so, I'll open up the cooler a little bit, let it burp it. But you're going to have to let this sit. So that's what we're going to do, and I'll be back with the finished product. Okay, it's been about 3 hours. Possibly 4, and it's been rested. I'm gonna let y'all see what I have. Nice brisket. Only thing left to do is cut it open, see what it looks like. You can cut it this way or diagonally. I'm gonna go diagonally. See what we get here. So far, so good. Get a few pieces in when I get closer to the middle. As you can see in the video, that there is a smoke ring. It's a nice smoke ring, but get you a nice little look. Bendable, flexible, nice little flat down, nice little fat down at the middle. Let's go ahead and taste this bad boy. I can't stop eating. That bark is a nice taste. I don't know what, if black truffles is doing it or what, but the color's nice. And the texture is just there. But pull it apart easy. Nice ring. I love brisket. So good. But that's all there is to it. It is a long process, but you get great results. Flavors in the middle with the injection. Of course, I haven't got to the point yet, but I'm pretty sure it's just the same. Especially if it's a little flabby back there too. But I don't know what else to say. That injection did just what it was supposed to do. The bark and the activated charcoal with the black truffles is doing what it's supposed to do. I can't stop eating it. It's pretty good. But all you gotta do is like, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate it. I do have more giveaways coming soon. I don't know what else to say. I'm hungry. It's been a long night. As I showed y'all earlier, I was out here at night. But this is Big Black Barbecue, and it's time to eat.